Hi friends, hope you are doing great. Today we are going to see about the BigQuery. BigQuery, it is serverless, highly scalable and cost-effective multi-cloud data warehouse designed for business agility. BigQuery, it is a Google's fully managed petabyte scale, low-cost analytics data warehouse. BigQuery is no ops, there is no infrastructure to manage and you don't need a database administrator. So you can focus on analyzing data to find meaningful insights. Use familiar SQL and take advantage of our pay-as-you-go model. BigQuery it is a fast, highly scalable, cost-effective and fully managed enterprise data warehouse for analytics. A scalable, fully managed enterprise data warehouse with SQL and fast response times. So about the BigQuery which is a fully managed petabyte scale, low-cost analytics data warehouse database. As with other databases, some common tasks are as follows. BigQuery, it is interacting with data sets, importing and exporting data, streaming inserts, monitoring and logging, managing costs, optimizing tables and queries. BigQuery is an important service for the process and analysis stage of the data lifecycle. Next, we are going to see about the BigQuery datasets. Datasets are the basic unit of organization for sharing data in BigQuery. A dataset can have multiple tables. When you create a dataset in BigQuery, you specify the following: a dataset ID, data location, default table expiration. What is dataset ID? A dataset ID, it is a name of the dataset, and the data location, which is a region that supports BigQuery. The default table expiration allows us to set a time to live for the dataset. This is useful when you know that you will keep data for some period of time, then delete it. You can create tables using the BigQuery user interface or the command line. Once you have created a dataset, you can load data into it. Next, we are going to see about the loading and exporting data. With an existing dataset, you can create tables and load data into those tables. As with querying, you can use either the user interface or the command line. In both cases, we will need to specify the following: the type of data source, which can be Google Cloud Storage, an uploaded file from local drive, G drive or a cloud bigtable, and the data transfer service. Next one, the data source such as a URI to a cloud storage file, a table or a path to a local file name. Third one is file format, one of Avro, CSV, JSON, ORC. If you are loading from cloud storage, you can also load cloud data store and cloud firestore exports. Next one, designation table including project, dataset and table name. Next one, schema, which can be auto detected, specified in text or entered one column at a time, specifying the column name, type and mode. Mode may be nullable, required or repeated. Next one is partitioning, which can be no partitioning or partitioning by insertion time. If a table is partitioned, you can use clustering order, which optimizes the way the column data is stored and can optimize the way that queries are executed. So next we are going to see about this monitoring and logging into BigQuery. Stackdriver is used for monitoring and logging in BigQuery. Stackdriver monitoring provides performance metrics such as query counts and time to run queries. Stackdriver logging is used to track events such as running jobs or creating tables. Next, we are going to see about the BigQuery cost consideration. BigQuery costs are based on the amount of data stored, the amount of data streamed, and the workload required to execute queries. So next we are going to see about the tips for optimizing BigQuery. One way to keep cost down is to optimize the way that you use BigQuery. Here are the several ways to do this. Avoid using select star. Use --drive--run to estimate the cost of a query. Set the maximum number of bytes build. Partition by time when possible. Denormalize data rather than join multiple tables. So these are tips for optimizing BigQuery. So BigQuery, it's good for OLAP workloads up to petabyte scale, big data exploration and processing, reporting via business intelligence tools. Now we are going to see about the difference between the OLTP and OLAP. Both are online processing. So now what is OLTP? It is a transactional processing. It is an online database modifying system. What is OLAP? It is an analytical processing system. It is an online database query answering system. So these are the difference between the OLTP and OLAP. Thanks a lot, friends. In our next videos, we are going to see about the demo BigQuery. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel so that it will motivate me to upload more videos about the Google Cloud platform. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.